Hey there, in this video we will learn about Python's list comprehension, which is a concise way to create lists. So list comprehension is a shortcut in Python that lets you make lists quickly without writing a lot of code. It's like mini loop tucked inside a list. So using list comprehension can make your code cleaner and easier to understand. So let's start with a simple example to understand the list comprehension. We will have three examples. In the first example will be about basic list comprehension, and the second one we will learn about comprehension with condition. In the third one we will use nested loop in the list comprehension. So you want to square numbers from 0 to 9. Instead of using a for loop, you can achieve this in just one line of code. Let's first see how we will get the square of numbers from 0 to 9 with the conventional for. So let's first create an empty list. I'll call this square numbers. This will be our empty list, right? Now we'll start with for x in a range of 10. So it will give us values or integer numbers from 0 to 9. Now I'll save this square number in just another variable which I call square equal to x, and this will give us the square of the number x. And finally we will append this square into square numbers list. We'll do that by square numbers and calling the append function and now passing the parameter square as parameter. So now when we are done with the getting numbers in the list, we can print this, and here you can see we have the numbers, the square of numbers from 0 to 9. So this is how we will create the list of square numbers from 0 to 9. Let's see how we can do this using list comprehension. Again, I will call this square numbers list, and so in list comprehension the first value that you need to type is the value or the variable that is supposed to be appended in the list. So x will be our value, and then we'll start with for loop, again x in range of 10. So now when we have the x, now so this is a simple loop, right? So now once we have a for loop, we can just simply square the x. So this will give us the square of the value. So that's it. Let's comment this out and print our square numbers list. Okay, clear this. Okay, now let's print the square number list. Okay, you can see we have the square number list. That's it. In just one line of code, we got the same result what we could do with a for loop in 4 lines, right? So that was the simplest one. The next one is list comprehension with condition. Like we will be using if condition alongside the for loop. We will also use if condition. So suppose we want to get the square of even numbers, just even. We don't want the odd numbers. So at the end of this for loop, we will add the if condition and we will say if x. So this will give us the even numbers. So you can see here we are getting the final value which is added in the list, and then we have the for loop which is iterating through on a range from 0 to 10, and then finally we have the if statement or if condition which is looking just for the even numbers. Let's print this again. Now you can see we have the square of numbers from of just the even numbers. So that's how you use if condition in the list comprehension. So for the third example, where we will be using nested list comprehension, let's say we have a list of lists. We have a list matrix, and within this list matrix, we have three other lists which contains values 1 to 9. Again, I will create a variable and I will call it flat. So this variable flat will store our comprehension list. Again, we need to start with empty list, and then within the empty list we will be passing, suppose this will be our final value numbers, which is added into or appended into the list. And then now for row, so I'm calling row every list within the matrix list. For row in matrix, so this will get us every list from the list matrix. And now again I will start for loop. So now we will get number from every sublist. That's it. We have the final value which is added in the list. Then we have first list which is iterating through the lists. And then we have another loop which is iterating over values in this list. And the row represents each list in the list matrix. And that's it. Now we can print the list flat. Let's clear this. Yeah, you can see here 1 2 3 was in a separate list, but now we have all the values in a single list. So that was the third example where we could use nested loops. That's the beauty of Python's list comprehensions, which is concise, readable, and powerful. And you will find they can simplify your code in many scenarios. If you found this quick guide helpful, give it a thumbs and subscribe for more Python tips. Thank you.